It's supposed to be done by Tuesday. Good morning. Good morning. Talking about the banging outside of my house. It's been happening for about 8 months. Just in case anyone was curious about things that drive people crazy, would be kind of nice. On
I don't
other
know.
news,
I don't know about you, but I think we had so much snow and then I got milder. So now it's like really crunchy. And literally every car that drives by, 'cause my bedroom's at the front of the house, you hear it. And I'm like, "Arr." All you hear is
yeah,
crunchy ice. So anyway, we're not going to start our Mondays off on that note.
just got interrupted. So on better news, I was saying to Deb, one of my all-time favorite authors, Marianne Williamson. If you have not checked out A Return to Love, it is a book I go to all the time. This is huge news. She is going for president of the United States. And I just feel like it's wild because I believe she's worked on it before and she's very passionate about, obviously driving a lot of political battles. And she's a female, which is really cool. So that was new news for me yesterday, which got me really curious. I haven't dug into it and I'm not going to take a stance and get into the nitty gritty because really that's not my thing. I just thought it was cool that someone whose words and renditions of A Course in Miracles has really transformed my life in an amazing way. So I'm interested now a little bit more in politics because Nick, my partner, like the news is something we battle. He would watch the news all day and I don't want to see the news at all. So
Oh, that's
when
so
I
me
came
too.
when I came through, I was like, have you heard? He's like, what? I'm like, did the news not deliver you the news? Because Instagram has informed me that Marianne Williamson is running for president. So anyway, that is the news today. And that's as far as we'll take it because
Oh, that could go into so many conversations that we don't want to get into. I think it's interesting to see what her perspective or message will be. I don't think probably that there's ever been anybody quite like her that have taken this like kind of political stance. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where that all goes. So good for her.
so what's your plan for the week, Deb? Running
Oh
for
my
prime
gosh.
minister?
A prime minister. Give Justin Trudeau a run for his money. Um, no, I don't think politics are in my future. That's for sure. I hurt my back, and I think over the course of the weekend, it's been a really low key weekend. And I think sometimes our bodies, if we don't willingly take the space for self care and maintenance, your body will do it for you. And I think my body is just kind of telling me I need to slow down. I think I've been maybe pushing too hard. And I know we've talked about this before. Force negates really. You talk about flow all the time and what that looks like and how that feels. And I think for me, I've been maybe a little frustrated in some aspects of my business and really trying to get clarity on my next steps. And I think I've been kind of pushing too hard. So I think this week is just a good week. I do have some appointments booked anyway, but go get a massage, really do some background stuff, maybe not so much, maybe even take a break from social media, which I know everybody in the marketing world would be like, don't do it. But I think there's a space for self-care and maintenance. So I think that's on the forefront this week because I really, it's even more frustrating when I can't do the things that I want to do, like walk my dog or exercise or some of those things I haven't really been able to do the last few days. So just healing, getting better, self-care is really on my list of things to do this week. And then I do have a lengthy to-do list. So if I'm feeling good one day and I get motivated or inspired to work on something, then I have that space as well. What about you?
One thing I thought of when you mentioned this break from social media, I've been on a hiatus for about, I feel like 6 months now. I was going like rigorously and then it's like, I just am really tired. And I
Yeah.
thought of like, you could be like, I'll be back because I'm
Yeah.
taking a break. Like, just your
I'll
back. So
be back. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
anyway, whatever.
I'll be back.
Uh, um, I've been thinking a lot about strategic planning. And again, I read Think and Grow Rich all the time. It's one of my go-to books, and it's something I'm studying. And they always talk about a definite plan. So I feel like there's always my overarching goals, and I'm really great as a visionary, and that's where I can excel and help people like see this grander version and then get into it. So for myself, it's like the day to day for the business side. So likewise, like how do I just plan things to streamline and make a life easier so that I have more time to do the fun stuff that I want to do. Also, it's a full moon on Tuesday, so I'm gonna go to an
I didn't
event.
know that. That's so good that you told me that.
And it's like all the energy is coming up, and it's a full moon. It's a great time to reflect over the last few weeks. Might feel a bit heavier. And if there's things that you just feel like you're ready to let go of, and maybe that's like where your back is too, like let it flow out. Like when you're saying like our bodies are so powerful in telling us what is happening, and it is looking within, because our health is such a huge priority. And we often, I don't think, realize it until it's like, yeah, the back's out or whatever. And it's almost a little too late. So what signs are we missing beforehand? And I'm finding with myself, like I've been sneezing a little bit more. So I don't feel ill or anything. I'm just like, I'm healthier and healthier each and every day, and doing little steps to take myself there. Cause yeah, we talk about self-care, self-love all the time. And I've got like some backlash. It's like, oh, like this is so mainstream. Well, thank goodness, because like who else is going to take care of you? And
Absolutely.
there's always, I think you can resonate and hear from someone differently, because sometimes they aren't new messages. Like sometimes I feel like some of the stuff that we say and we're preaching and we're incorporating in our lives, it's not new, and neither is it for anyone else. It's that resonating with someone. So when you find that person and something is landing, it's landing for a reason, because your soul wants to hear it. So if like lunar cycles now are like more in the vibe of what you're doing, like how can you bring this to the forward and find your flow with it? Like I think it's really important to listen to those things. So for myself, like I'm feeling more aligned to not be on like the seat of my pants, because that's where sometimes I've done my best work, because I love to generate things very quickly. I love the excitement of new and just skipping steps and going for it. And in my life, it's worked really well. And then sometimes it's like, okay, now I have to go 2 steps backwards just to catch up with myself. So I think that's where I'm at right now. I've leaped forward in a lot of areas. So now I want to just take a calmness and go to do some backward steps of planning, because that's where I'm feeling right now. And I think it's kind of letting go of some of my excited energy and just grounding into this new spring energy.
I like that. Yeah, full moon's a great time to really reflect on what you're willing to let go of. And I think our bodies do tell us the most amazing things if we're willing to listen. I think I've had a sore back now for a while, or it hasn't been sore. It's been making itself known here and there. And, I haven't really listened to, okay, what is it trying to tell me? The Louise Hay and the emotional causes of physical pain is always interesting to me. So what have I been missing? It's a time for me to reflect, and I know that. And like you said, there's new energy coming forth. And we talk a little bit about that from time to time. But yeah, I think it is just time to like go within and get really ask yourself some hard questions. I think if you aren't asking yourself questions on the day to day on how can I be better? How can I do better? Where do I want to go? What am I not doing in order to align with where I want to go? Those are all important questions that you need to be asking yourself. And, we talk about it all the time. Doing the same thing over and over is not going to garnish you any new results. So, I maybe have some thinking to do, and it's good work. It's good reflection. So I'm on it this week, folks. I'm on it. Next week, you'll see me brand new.
My back will be so much better. Yeah, it's
I'll be doing backflips next week.
right. Oh my goodness. That's how flow started with me, as a backflip. It was insane. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I just thought of something. I think it escaped my mind. Oh, that sucks. It was gonna be really insightful, I'm sure. I missed out.
Maybe it'll come to you.
No, I think going back to asking the questions, and a lot of the women I work with, it's like, and ask yourself, like, what do you love and what do you want to do for yourself for fun? Because sometimes it is just the lighthearted part of our life that has to be nourished as well. Because we can be serious and we can be hard on ourselves or whatever. It could also just be like to do something different. Maybe it's just getting out of the norm and taking that dance class that has
Mhm.
been on your heart, or that art, or something creative, because it's so different in the flow of life, and allowing time to be quiet. So like I love to color and made a coloring book, and I love to just do different crafty things, because again, like it allows me to unleash that creative flow for myself. And it's not that I'm great at any of this stuff sometimes either. It's like I just want something completely different, because that's when I usually get more insights of my life, of maybe some of the things that are stumbling me or blocking me, because my mind's not focused on the problem, even though we want to be solution orientated. So those are things that have worked for me. And then I incorporate that into like my self-care, because I was at the AGO in Ontario today, in Toronto, or yesterday. And it was just so cool. Like, again, I was saying to Deb, like, I'm not a huge art buff. So it's not that I go in there and understand, like, oh my God, this is whatever. However, like taking the time to understand or see that artist and appreciation from a different level is just always rejuvenated me in a different way that um, sometimes other things can. So listen to, like Deb was saying, like listen to what's calling in the moment. Like it's so
I think
fun.
sometimes when you open yourself up to new experiencing, or like something like going to the art gallery or something different that you wouldn't normally do, you're also opening yourself up to new, maybe creative energy that wouldn't be at the mall or the
Mm.
coffee shop or different places that you would maybe normally go to. So I like that idea of trying something new. That's a good challenge for the week. Everybody, let's
Mm.
try something new this week. Go outside your comfort zone, try a class, go somewhere different, go to the art gallery, whatever that is for you. Do something different, expose yourself to new energy, because like Ali said, we have a new moon. And
Full
yeah,
moon.
there you
Full
go.
moon.
Oh, full moon. Sorry, full moon.
And
So,
comment. I want to hear what people are doing, because sometimes it's like gives me ideas. It's like, oh,
yeah,
never thought of that.
I like it. Well, everyone, thanks for joining us to Kickstart Your Mondays. We will be back on Thursday and again live with you next Monday to kickstart your week. Have a great week, everyone.